Not exactly sure. It's a cardiac myopathy. And the National Zoo in Washington had a thing. This was now 3 years ago.
Right.
That they had one of their they have one family group, and the silverback had cardiac issues for a number of years, and they decided to do surgery to put a pacemaker in,
Yeah.
and he died on the table with that. The next week, they had another male that had been a single male. He really hadn't been with a group for a long time, because that's what they did a long time ago if they didn't have bachelor groups. And they started introducing him to the females in the group with the family. And he had a heart attack the next week.
Oh my God.
So they had, and he died in it. So they lost two silverbacks, and the oldest one was just in his mid-30s. So that's, there's a lot of research in that area exactly what's going on. But,
It does sound like stress.
yeah, just like,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
just drop it.
Look at that beast. Look at his back. God.
That's roughly how big his hands are.
You said
They're
his are a little bit bigger?
bit bigger, probably.
Yeah, that's astounding.
It's insane.
Boy, he's a
Big boy.
powerful.
I'm sorry.
Powerful.
Whoa.
No, he has Playmate. We've done males. We got him and this little guy we got with his mom from the Bronx about 3 years ago. And the understanding was that we were going to incorporate them all into a nice family group, because at that time he was by himself with a family, but he was also at an age where he was being a pain with his dad, and because no one else wanted, at this age, back up 3 years ago, he wasn't as big as he is now, but he was at the age where parents say, okay, you need to learn how to play by yourself, that type of thing. And he was just that way, so we figured if we brought this little guy in, he'd have a playmate.
Right.
And anyway, we got the mother and son about 3 years ago, and began introducing him to our family. And he was out. They took him out of the mix right away because he was a wild card. He's the youngest, and the young ones are always a wild card.
Yeah.
So they introduced the females, and then they introduced the silverback to the two. And silverback liked this female from the Bronx. He did not like her kid. And this is little guy here. That's what we were talking about. Our silverback did not like the kid.
He's in that hole back.
he's in that hole.
In that hole back there.
He was even littler than he is now. This is like 3 years ago. This guy hasn't grown a lot in 3 years. He's just like at the low end of the growth curve. He'll get bigger, but he's just kind of slow in getting his growth spurt.
But they get along.
But these two actually get along well. But the reason we don't have them all together is when we got to the point where we were introducing him with everybody, he saw Kachimba's mom from the Bronx. And he wasn't mature, but he was old enough to like girls, so he thought she's pretty nice. And he started acting around her like,
Yeah, right.
And the keepers figured that, with the dad and the dad and son liking the same female would not be
Look
a
at
good
this.
match.
Look at.
And at the age that they are, and they're at an age at this point where they would normally be leaving the family anyway.
Right.
So that's how they ended up as the bachelor group.
He's a character.
He is.
He really is. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of chilling.
All right.
Gorillas do a lot of that. Like they rest a lot of the day, and the excuse you could use is I'm conserving energy.
I'm sorry.
But they eat in the wild, and even in the zoo, they eat relatively low calorie food. They eat a lot. Like he probably eats about 12 pounds at least of raw vegetable material, which calorie wise might be a couple thousand calories, but like a lot of heavy on the green stuff. If you think about taking 12 pounds of raw produce, that's you can heap a tray up. That's a lot. But for an animal this size, they can't expense a lot of rice. They're not going to be backpacking
Right.
Appalachian trailer.
Right.